Life has never been a chaotic or random sequence of events, but rather an intricate and deeply intelligent pattern, a form of cosmic intelligence, testing not your intellect, but your awareness of your own magnificent design. Every twist, every turn, every triumphant success, and every shattering heartbreak was never arbitrary. Each experience was a precise frequency calibration, a fine tuning of your energetic signal, pushing you, guiding you, and calling you back to the truth of your own power. An ancient inner part of you, a wisdom that resides deep within your very cells, recognized this pattern long before your conscious mind could ever find the words to label it. This profound recognition is a state known as coherence, that magical, undeniable moment when your inner signal, the unique vibration of your soul, perfectly matches the grand, rhythmic pulse of the universe. This moment of pure alignment was not something you stumbled upon by accident. It was called into being, summoned across the ethers by the version of you that exists beyond the confines of linear time. This is your higher self, your oversoul, the complete and total consciousness of which your human experience is but a small, precious fragment. From this expanded vantage point, where past, present, and future exist simultaneously, this higher aspect of you has been orchestrating a grand scavenger hunt. Every seemingly mindless scroll through your phone that led to a meaningful article, every sudden hesitation that made you miss a red light, every mistake and detour. These were all intentional breadcrumbs, lovingly placed to lead your human self back to the sanctuary of your own being. The game you've been playing is not about learning something new, but about remembering something ancient, the blueprint of your own soul. The challenge lies not in conquering the world, but in mastering the art of listening to the subtle, persistent whispers of your own inner guidance system, which has been broadcasting the cheat codes to this beautiful game all along. This dawning recognition that you are following a hidden map leads to an even more profound and world-altering realization. You are not merely a spectator watching the grand drama of the cosmos unfold on a distant stage. You are not a pawn being moved by the hands of fate. In this cosmic field, you are simultaneously the player and the field itself. The very consciousness that witnesses the unfolding of your life, the silent, aware presence behind your eyes that is reading these words right now, is the exact same creative force that is bringing it all into existence. This is the grand secret. The observer is the creator. You are not living in the universe. The universe is living through you. When you grasp this, the concept of synchronicity transforms. Those moments of perfect, unexplainable timing are not a gift from a separate external universe that occasionally decides to smile upon you. Synchronicity is the universe speaking through you, to you. It is the tangible evidence of your own alignment, a dialogue between your human mind and your infinite consciousness. The reality you experience is a flawless mirror, a high-definition screen coded to reflect your internal state of awareness with absolute, unwavering precision. The more coherent you become, the more your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs align with your core truth, the clearer and more beautiful the reflection in that mirror becomes. When you resist, when you argue with what is, when you live in a state of fear, lack, and separation, distortions appear in the mirror. Life feels like a struggle. You encounter friction, obstacles, and chaos. But the very moment you choose to align, to surrender to the flow, life begins a direct and intimate conversation with you. Every delay is revealed to be an act of divine precision, protecting you or preparing you. Every encounter, from the stranger who smiles at you to the challenging colleague, holds a profound and specific purpose, a message tailored just for you. The world isn't happening to you, it is responding through you. The question then becomes, what are you broadcasting for it to reflect? But how does this mirroring process actually work? This is not just a poetic metaphor or a New Age philosophy. It is a principle deeply embedded in the mechanics of our universe, a process we are only now beginning to understand through the lens of quantum physics. The energy you emit, the subtle but powerful vibration composed of your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states, creates tangible ripples in the quantum field that orchestrate the physical events and circumstances of your life. This is a quantum interaction. In the strange and wonderful world of the quantum field, the foundational level of reality, there is no separation between the observer and the observed. The very act of seeing, of placing your awareness upon something, collapses infinite waves of potential into a single, particulate, physical form. This means your awareness is not a passive camera watching life go by. It is an active, powerful, and creative force. It is the sculptor's hand that molds the clay of infinite possibility. Your awareness does not simply watch life, it molds it, moment by moment by moment. The proof of this is not hidden in some esoteric text or a complex scientific laboratory. It is hidden in plain sight, woven into the fabric of your everyday experience. It is the perfect song that comes on the radio with the exact lyrics you needed to hear to comfort your aching heart. It is the person who calls or texts you the very second you were thinking of them. A phenomenon so common, we've given it a name, but rarely stop to consider its profound implications. It is the book that falls off the shelf, open to the precise page, containing the answer to a question you've been pondering for weeks. These are not random blessings or statistical anomalies. They are echoes. They are the physical, tangible manifestations of your own frequency returning home to its source. You are in a constant, dynamic feedback loop with the universe. Your energy goes out and collapses potential into form, and that form then appears in your life as a physical experience. You have been sculpting your reality all along. The only question is whether you have been doing it consciously or unconsciously. So, if your awareness is the sculptor, what is the clay it is sculpting from? Imagine a vast, infinite, shimmering field of pure potential where all possible realities exist simultaneously. Every choice you could possibly make and every outcome that could result from that choice already exists as a dormant, vibrational pattern within this quantum field. The timeline you perceive as your singular, linear life is, in essence, a holographic projection. One single movie you have selected to watch from an infinite library of films. Your personal frequency, the specific vibration you are holding right now, is the remote control that selects which version of reality you tune into and experience. In this elegant and flawless design, there are no accidents, no punishments, and no coincidences. There is only resonance and dissonance. When your frequency matches a particular reality, you resonate with it, and it becomes your experience. When it doesn't, you experience dissonance, a feeling of being out of sync. This is where we must reframe our understanding of crisis and collapse. Those moments that feel like your entire world is falling apart are not punishments from a cruel universe. They are powerful, necessary recalibrations. When your inner signal begins to rise in frequency, when you do the work to heal, to expand your consciousness, to choose love over fear, the outdated structures in your life that were built on a lower frequency can no longer exist in your reality. They must dissolve. This dissolution often looks and feels like a catastrophic ending from the limited perspective of your human self. That job that suddenly fell apart, leaving you feeling lost and terrified. It was not a failure. It was your higher self, the master editor of your timeline, deleting a scene that was too small for the grander story you're becoming. That relationship that ended in heartbreak, the one you thought you couldn't live without, it was a recalibration, lovingly removing a resonant match for who you were to make space for a partner who can meet who you are now. The plan that refused to unfold, no matter how hard you pushed, it was not a sign of your inadequacy. It was a divine intervention, a course correction from the part of you that can see the entire map and knows that a far more beautiful destination awaits you on a different path. The collapse is always a prelude to expansion. The breakdown is always a breakthrough in disguise. So, if we are constantly shifting through these holographic timelines, and if our painful endings are actually timeline edits from our higher self, what then is the ultimate objective of this complex and hidden game? The surprising answer is that the goal was never to win, and it was never to lose. The entire purpose of this intricate journey is simply to remember that you were never, not for one single moment, separate from the quantum field you are shaping. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. In this profound realization, the frantic, exhausting need to control everything finally dissolves. The white-knuckled grip you have had on life, trying to force outcomes, manipulate people, and plan for every contingency, can finally be released. This desperate need for control is born from the illusion of separation, the terrifying belief that you are a small, vulnerable being, adrift in a vast, indifferent universe. But when you remember that you are the universe, experiencing itself, the need to control it becomes utterly absurd. You are not here to master the art of manifestation as if it were a tool to bend an external reality to your will. You are here to master the art of remembrance. The moment you truly and deeply remember your connection, a profound shift occurs. Effort ends and flow begins. You stop trying to attract what you desire because you realize you already are it. You don't need to attract abundance. You remember that you are the source of all abundance and begin to radiate that frequency effortlessly. You don't need to search for love. You remember that you are made of pure, unconditional love and begin to embody it. What once felt like a lucky coincidence now becomes clear and direct communication. What once felt like agonizing waiting is now understood as sacred preparation, a time of integration and stabilization before the next phase of your unfolding. The game isn't about getting somewhere else. It's about fully arriving right where you are and remembering the power that has been within you all along. This state of remembrance and flow is characterized by a constant stream of what we so easily dismiss as coincidence. But what you call coincidence is, in fact, something far more profound. It is a direct line of communication between the different dimensions of you. Think of yourself as existing in two primary states simultaneously. One is your human self, perceiving time as a linear progression of past, present, and future. The other is your expanded infinite self, which sees your entire existence as a single, complete, holographic pulse, where every choice, every moment, and every lifetime is connected in a beautiful, intricate web. When you experience a moment of synchronicity that feels too perfect, too mathematically improbable to be random, it is not some external magic intervening in your life. It is coherence. It is a message crossing the bridge from your infinite self to your human self. The infinite you, which can see the entire pattern, sends a signal, a nudge, an idea, a sign that the human you, with its limited perspective, perceives as a lucky break or a strange coincidence. A perfect analogy is the tuning fork. When you strike a tuning fork, another tuning fork of the same frequency across the room will begin to vibrate and hum without ever being touched. It's not magic. It's the law of resonant frequencies. In the same way, the higher, more coherent frequency of your expanded being calls forth events, people, and opportunities into your physical reality that perfectly match its tone. That sudden insight you have in the shower, the stranger who gives you the exact advice you needed, the chance meeting that changes the course of your life. These are not random. These are resonant echoes, conversations between the part of you that is living the story and the part of you that has already written it. Are you listening to these interdimensional whispers? This constant communication between your human and divine selves underscores the ultimate, awe-inspiring power you hold within this dynamic interplay of reality. To exist as a conscious being means you have been given the dual, sacred roles of being both the creator and the experiencer. You are the architect designing the building and the resident living within its walls. The magical, perpetual dance between these two aspects, the infinite potentiality of the creator and the finite perception of the experiencer, is what gives birth to the tangible world you call reality. Every single moment, with every single glance, you're collapsing possibilities into form. Every time you focus your attention on something, every time you feel an emotion deeply, you're casting a vote in the quantum field, telling the universe which reality you wish to solidify. The universe, in its infinite intelligence and impartiality, functions as a perfect mirror, reflecting your internal state back to you with absolute mathematical precision. It has no judgment, no agenda, and no preference. It simply reflects. If you hold a deep core belief that you are limited, that life is hard, and that you are unworthy of good things, the universe will dutifully rearrange itself to provide you with evidence that supports that belief. It will show you limitation, struggle, and lack. Conversely, if you cultivate a deep trust in expansion, if you hold the belief that you are supported, that you are worthy, and that the universe is fundamentally benevolent, it will mirror that infinity back to you. It will show you opportunity, support, and abundance. The world quite literally bends to the frequency of your interpretation. It is not about what is true in an objective sense, but what you accept as true for you. This is the ultimate responsibility and the ultimate freedom. At this very moment, your beliefs are the blueprint from which your reality is being constructed. What kind of world are you the architect of? Fully understanding and integrating this power as the architect of your reality leads to the inevitable and peaceful conclusion of a lifelong journey for many, the end of seeking, the frantic, often desperate search for purpose, for meaning, for a soulmate, for the answer that you believed was hiding somewhere out in the world, finally comes to a quiet end. This cessation of seeking happens the moment you have the profound, earth-shattering realization that you were never truly searching for anything external. You were only ever searching for yourself, the purpose you have been chasing, the one you thought was hidden in a specific career, a distant country, or another person's approval, was never hiding from you. It has always lived as a quiet, steady pulse beneath the chaotic noise of your thoughts and the relentless demands of the ego. You are not here on earth to use synchronicity as a tool to get what you want. You are here to become it, to become a living, breathing embodiment of divine flow and perfect timing. Every moment you previously labeled as a coincidence was, in fact, consciousness testing your trust in its rhythm. It was a gentle tap on the shoulder from the universe asking, "Do you see me yet? Do you recognize my hand in this? Are you ready to let go and trust my unfolding?" In this understanding, the concept of arrival becomes meaningless. There is no final destination, no enlightened mountaintop to conquer, because you were never lost. You were only on a grand journey of remembering that you are, and always have been, the very signal you have been listening for. The treasure was never at the end of the map. The treasure is the map, and you are the one holding it. The search is over because you have finally realized you are standing in the exact spot marked with an X. This profound realization, this end of seeking, often doesn't arrive through intellectual study or the disciplined mastery of spiritual practices. For most people, awakening comes through sheer, utter exhaustion. They reach a point where they have tried everything they can to control their lives. They have pushed, pulled, manipulated, and strategized. They have tried to force the river of life to bend to their will, and they have grown tired, bone tired of the struggle. They get tired of trying to control what was never theirs to control in the first place. And in that moment of complete and total surrender, when they finally let go of the oars and collapse in the bottom of the boat, a subtle but miraculous shift happens. Life begins to flow again. The current, which they had been fighting against for so long, gently takes over and carries them forward with an ease and grace they had forgotten was possible. The fundamental difference between a life of force and a life of flow is one simple thing: awareness. Force is the signature of the unaware mind, the ego that believes it is separate from the whole and must therefore fight for its survival and carve out its own destiny through struggle. Flow is the natural, effortless state of the aware consciousness, the part of you that knows it is one with the river of life and trusts its course implicitly. The energetic field that surrounds you is alive, intelligent, and perpetually responding to you. It mirrors your internal climate with the precision of a mathematical equation. If your internal climate is one of struggle, resistance, and force, the external world will reflect that back to you as obstacles, conflict, and hardship. The true power, the secret to a graceful life, is not found in developing the strength to make life bend to your will. It is found in becoming so internally coherent, so peaceful, and aligned in your own being that life has no choice but to reflect that same clarity and grace back to you. This shift from force to flow brings us back to the universal human question of purpose, but it invites us to look at it from a completely new and liberating perspective. The traditional idea that you must find or discover your calling inherently implies that you were, at some point, disconnected from it. It frames purpose as a specific destination, a job title, or a role that you must search for and hopefully, one day, arrive at. But what if purpose is not a destination at all? What if purpose is a frequency? Purpose is not what you do. It is the quality of awareness you bring to whatever you are doing. It is a vibration that emanates from you in every moment that you are present and aligned with your truth. It vibrates through every act done in total awareness, from the courage it takes to speak your truth in a difficult situation to the profound generosity of listening deeply and without judgment to another person's pain. Every single act of conscious awareness, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is a micro adjustment in the quantum field. It is a vote for coherence, a pulse of light sent out into the collective. When enough individual humans hold that frequency of alignment, the collective consciousness of the planet begins to shift. This is why your personal alignment is never a selfish act. Your healing, your joy, your peace, these are not just for you. They are a contribution to the whole. Your healing is collective healing. Your journey back to your own inner truth helps to illuminate the path for everyone else. Your purpose is not something to be found. It is something to be embodied right here, right now, in this very breath. Of course, this journey of alignment and embodiment is not always a path of light and ease. What about the dark times? What about the intense pain, the devastating loss, the periods of chaos that seem to have no meaning? Our framework for reality must be able to hold these experiences as well. Hard times are not a sign that you have failed or that the universe has abandoned you. They are not punishments. They are resonance tests, specifically designed to expand your signal and strengthen your capacity to hold light. Consciousness, by its very nature, sharpens and defines itself through the experience of contrast. You cannot truly know or appreciate the feeling of coherence without having intimately known the pain of distortion. You cannot fully understand the light until you have navigated the darkness. In this light, your suffering is not meaningless. It is sacred data. Your pain, your anxiety, your grief, these are not your enemies. They are invaluable messenger systems, providing you with precise and crucial information. They teach you to recognize the feeling of distortion in your own energy field. They show you exactly where your beliefs are out of alignment with your higher truth. With each challenge navigated consciously, you learn to return to your truth, to your center, faster and more efficiently each time. The game of life was never about trying to escape the duality of good and bad, pleasure and pain. It was about mastering the art of navigation within it. When you can successfully shift your perspective, you stop seeing chaos as a personal threat and start seeing it as an impersonal and even helpful process of recalibration. You learn to ask not, "Why is this happening to me?" but rather, "What is this revealing in me?" As you become a master navigator of your own inner world, something truly remarkable begins to happen. The deeply ingrained, ego driven need to prove your worth, to achieve, to be recognized, to be seen as special, simply falls away. You come to the profound understanding that you are not here to achieve enlightenment as if it were a medal to be won or a certificate to be framed. You are the light. The only work is to remember your own inherent shape and to stop pretending to be anything less. The real work of awakening is not to convince others, to preach, or to convert. It is simply to embody. It is to live your truth so fully and authentically that your very presence becomes a transmission. Your frequency becomes your silent sermon. People will begin to sense it. They will be drawn to a palpable calm within you, a quiet strength that does not depend on your external circumstances being perfect. They won't be able to name it, and you won't need them to. They will simply feel the coherence of your energetic field, and it will remind their own soul of its own forgotten harmony. This is how true, lasting evolution happens on this planet. Not through loud, angry revolutions that seek to change the outer world by force, but through the quiet, courageous remembrance of individuals who have chosen to embody a new way of being one person at a time. And this embodied, peaceful presence is not meant to be kept hidden away in a monastery or reserved only for quiet moments of meditation. Spirituality was never meant to live only in the silence. It was designed to breathe and thrive amidst the beautiful chaos and noise of daily life. True awakening begins the very moment that your awareness can walk directly into the marketplace, into the stressful traffic jam, the heated business meeting, the difficult family dinner, and refuse to lose itself. The world is not working against your peace. It is actively sculpting it. Every person who cuts you off on the highway, every demanding email, every confrontation is a sacred invitation. It is an opportunity to choose, in that precise moment, to respond as awareness itself, rather than from the conditioned, knee-jerk patterns of your reactive ego. Consciousness is not meant to be a tool to escape the messiness of humanity. It is meant to be a light that illuminates it, that permeates every corner of it with grace, compassion, and understanding. The ultimate test is not how peaceful you can be when you are alone on a mountaintop, but how much of that peace you can carry with you into the heart of the world. The most powerful and effective way to carry that peace into the world, to illuminate your corner of humanity, is to live with a specific high-frequency quality, integrity. To embody truth is to live transparently, with no division between your inner and outer worlds. Integrity is one of the highest vibrations a human being can hold, because it is the frequency of pure coherence. It is the state where your words, your intentions, your deep-seated beliefs, and your physical actions all align and broadcast a single, clear, powerful signal into the quantum field. When you are living in this state of integrity, the universe becomes deeply cooperative. It can respond to you with speed and precision because you are no longer broadcasting mixed, confusing signals. Think of it like this. If you are saying you want abundance, but you are constantly feeling and believing in lack, the universe receives two conflicting messages and can only reflect back your confusion. But when every part of you aligns with your truth, you become a powerful and clear transmitter. Truth is inherently self-sustaining. It needs no defense, no justification, and no manipulation to survive. It simply is. And each time you choose radical honesty and authenticity in a world that so often rewards masks and performance, you strengthen the collective energetic field of truth for everyone. The quantum field does not respond to your slogans or your wishful thinking. It responds to the undeniable truth of your state of being. Living in this state of integrity and truth does not mean you will become a perfect, emotionless saint, floating a few inches above the ground. This is a common and unhelpful myth of spirituality. You are not meant to be emotionless. You are meant to be fully present through every emotion. The awakened awareness does not reject the storm of human feeling, the grief, the anger, the fear. It expands itself to become a vessel vast enough to hold the storm without being capsized by it. It is the calm, deep ocean that allows the waves on the surface to crash and rage, knowing that its own essential peace remains undisturbed. This is true freedom, not the escape from the human experience, but the radical inclusion of all of it. In this state, you begin to see the profound holiness in everything, especially in the mess. The broken, imperfect, challenging moment becomes just as sacred as the beautiful, blissful, and easy one. Life ceases to be a test that you can pass or fail and transforms into a wise and loving teacher. The world is no longer something broken that you need to fix, but a grand, conscious creation that you are here to participate in, consciously and with your whole heart. This conscious participation in the dance of life often requires an action that feels deeply counterintuitive to the conditioned, controlling mind, the act of surrender. In our culture, surrender is often equated with defeat, weakness, or giving up. But in the context of spiritual mastery, surrender is the ultimate expression of strength. It is mastery disguised as stillness. It is the high art of letting go, of getting out of your own way, and allowing life to breathe for you for a little while. The universe only asks one thing of you: to trust what you can feel, your inner compass, that gut feeling, that intuitive knowing. This is not random emotion. It is the palpable vibration of coherence. It is the physical sensation of your soul speaking its truth. When you consistently choose to follow the feeling of alignment over the mind's desperate need for certainty and a predictable plan, you open a door that logic and reason can never find. Life responds almost instantaneously the moment you stop broadcasting the frequency of confusion, doubt, and control, and start broadcasting the clean, clear frequency of trust. Surrender is not inaction. It is powerful, aligned action that springs from a place of deep inner knowing rather than fearful mental calculation. As you practice this mastery of surrender and begin to trust the pull of alignment, you start to witness a hidden order and a breathtaking intelligence operating behind the scenes of your life. What we humans often call divine timing is not a random or magical occurrence. It is the universe operating on a flawless algorithm of vibrational readiness, not chance. The perceived delay between when you set an intention and when it manifests in your physical reality is simply the time it takes for your own personal frequency, your beliefs, emotions, and expectations to stabilize at a level that can sustain that new reality. With this understanding, you can reframe every no and every rejection you've ever experienced. The field of consciousness always, without fail, removes what cannot match the vibration of where you're going. It lovingly clears the path ahead of you. You think you are being abandoned, but you are being aligned. You believe you are being rejected, but you are being protected and redirected. Every no that once shattered your certainty becomes in retrospect the crucial yes that refined your path, that closed a door to a lesser reality so that you could be guided to the one that was truly meant for you. The universe's timing is always perfect, even when your human mind cannot yet see the bigger picture. As you experience this divine precision over and over again, your entire relationship with the future begins to transform. The fear of the unknown begins to dissolve, and in its place, a new and exciting appetite for uncertainty begins to develop. You stop dreading uncertainty because you realize it is not a sign of chaos, but the signature of creation in motion. It is the fertile quantum void from which all new possibilities are born. You release the stressful and ultimately futile need to know exactly what comes next, because you have cultivated a deep cellular trust that the next moment has already been perfectly designed by your highest signal, your timeless self. Life ceases to be a frantic chase toward a distant goal and becomes a magnificent, moment by moment unfolding. You are no longer the desperate writer trying to force a plot. You are the captivated reader, sitting on the edge of your seat, excited to see what happens on the next page. The quantum field rewards this state of surrendered trust with breathtaking precision. When you stop pushing, a powerful current of alignment begins to pull. You haven't lost control. You have simply remembered who, or what, was gracefully moving the pieces the whole time. This entire journey, from the first inkling of a hidden pattern to living in the flow of the unfolding, is ultimately a journey of integration. It is the sacred process of bringing together the two seemingly opposite poles of your being, the divine and the human, the infinite and the finite. The quantum self, your true self, does not arrive with a flash of lightning or a chorus of angels. It arrives through quiet, humble remembrance, gently integrating these two aspects into one harmonious whole. Your consciousness does not regret its decision to become human. It cherishes it. It cherishes the chance to experience itself through the five senses, through the richness of emotion, through the beauty of imperfection. You, in your human form, are the sacred experiment. You are the universe's way of knowing itself through direct experience. This profound realization has the power to turn every single part of your life into a spiritual practice. Your relationships become clear mirrors, showing you the parts of yourself that are ready to be healed and loved. The habit of judgment fades away, replaced by a deep and abiding empathy as you begin to recognize the same vast ocean of consciousness looking back at you through every other pair of eyes. The more deeply you live from this integrated and awake state, the more you will feel a quiet, powerful current guiding your every step. You will no longer need to search for external signs or omens, because everything becomes a sign. The way the light hits a leaf, the words of a song on the radio, the smile of a stranger, it all becomes part of the continuous, loving dialogue you are having with the cosmos. The magnificent music of life begins to play through you, and you realize you are both the listener, captivated by the melody, and the instrument through which the music is being played. The illusion of effort dissolves completely. You begin to create not through striving, but simply by existing. You heal those around you, not by trying to fix them, but by witnessing them with your loving presence. You inspire the world not by trying to be a leader, but simply by being your authentic self. In the profound stillness at the center of your being, you feel with a certainty that transcends all logic how deeply and intimately connected everything is. The story of separation was always just that, a story, a perception, a temporary illusion, but never, ever the truth. And so, we arrive back at the beginning of our journey, but we see it now with new eyes. We see that you, in your beautiful, imperfect, glorious humanity, are the bridge. You are the living conduit between the infinite and the finite, between heaven and earth, between pure energy and solid matter. The more you remember this truth, the more your life will cease to be a grim battle for survival and will start to feel more like a grand symphony. You breathe, and the universe exhales with you. You act with conscious intention, and galaxies subtly align to support you. This is the central paradox of the awakened state. You do nothing extraordinary, and yet everything around you becomes extraordinary. You have simply returned to the beginning, to your original nature, but this time you have brought your awareness with you. You have come home to the profound and liberating truth that you were never broken, you were never separate, and you were never, ever lost. What if your greatest challenges have actually been your greatest gifts, perfectly designed by a loving universe to awaken the powerful architect that has always been sleeping within you? What reality would you begin to create, starting right now, in this very moment, if you fully and completely believed that you were the one holding the blueprint? I wish you not a life that is free from challenges, but the profound clarity and unshakable grace to see the hidden perfection within every single moment. May you walk in abundant health, in deep harmony, and in the quiet, unshakable peace that comes from remembering who you truly are. If this message resonated with the truth in your own heart, please subscribe to the channel and join our community as we continue this beautiful, collective journey of remembrance.